Hey everyone, let me just check my volume. Welcome in, welcome in. All right, everything sounds good. All right, let's do this. Welcome back to another stream. Thank y'all for being so patient. Had a bunch of errands to run this morning, so we had to push back the start time of the stream. But we are still gonna get into it, so I'm very excited about today's perfume. I'm just really in my perfume bag right now, so figured we would just keep it going and just have some fun with today's stream. So we're going to be doing Vera Wang's perfume called Love. I've never seen this perfume before, but I did see it online and I was like, oh my gosh, what a beautiful bottle. I wasn't sure how exactly it worked. When I was looking at a lot of pictures online, I was under the impression that the perfume was somewhere in here and it was just really clear, really transparent, but actually the perfume is in the diamond shaped bottle here. So I just thought that was really unique and cool. It's in the shape of a diamond ring. So apparently they sell this in Ulta. I've never seen this perfume ever in my life, but I thought it would be a fun challenge to work with this perfume. I think it's a beautiful shape, and I just think it could be a fun little challenge for us today. So I figured, let's go with it. Let's try it. Let's see how we fare and kind of just have some fun with it. So I'm going to attack this like I do any other stream and kind of just go at what I think. So don't hold me to any particular standard, but I typically just go with what I feel, and we'll try to make it as close to the actual perfume as possible. Last week we did Dior perfume. I actually finished it. It's stunning. I'm very proud of that perfume render. I did end up adding the final touches, a nice gold background. I added some fluid simulation along with some condensation droplets on the outside of the bottle and just a little bit of a dynamic render of the camera moving with it as well. So I spent some time trying to render it out. I thought it would be ready today, but it ended up taking a lot longer than I anticipated. So I'm about halfway through with rendering. I went ahead and paused that so we could do today's live, and then I'll finish the rest of the render tonight. I did put a work in progress in the Discord. If you're not in there, definitely check out our Discord. I'll put like work in progress, anything that we do in live, and anything coming up. So there's an image in there. It's really, really pretty. I'm very proud of that one. It has like the elegance of the Fenty bottle that I did. So hopefully this Vera Wang is kind of on that same trajectory. Let me go ahead and put on my screencast keys. Oh, what's going on here? Okay. Let me throw on my screencast keys just in case anybody wants to follow this at a later date. It's going to be in the bottom left. Everything I'm doing, I'll do my best to talk through what I'm doing. And without further ado, let's get into today's model. So I think I'm going to go with a cylinder for this. And to get it nice and smooth, I'm going to open up these side settings, and I'm just going to maybe do 64. Just to get it as smooth as possible. I always like to tab into edit mode immediately. to start sizing and rotating. So I'm going to rotate on the X 90 degrees, and that's going to have it facing us. I'm going to grab on the Z, pull it up. Sorry if there's a bit of a lag. I have a lot of things running right now on my computer. This tends to happen, unfortunately. So I'm just going to scale that all the way up. I have 2 more pieces until I can start putting my Windows computer together. So I'm very, very excited for the workflow to speed up when I get into my Windows computer. But for now, we're going to work with what we got. So I'm going to scale it on the Y and just give it the width that I think it is. Again, I've never seen this perfume in real life ever. Typically, if I'm shopping or if I'm in the store and I see a perfume bottle that I just love, that I don't necessarily want to purchase, but I just love the design of it, I'll take a picture of it. Because I'm always thinking like, ooh, I can make that in Blender. And I've never seen this perfume. So I'm kind of just winging it with this. So don't look at this as like exact amounts, but I think that's a pretty good width. We can always change it if we need to. I'm going to just select the front and back face, and I'm just going to get rid of it. So I'm going to hit X and delete the faces, and that's going to leave us with this shape, which will be like that ring. And what we'll do, a fun little trick that I learned, so I'm going to jump into vertices mode. And you know what, before I do that, what I should have done, let me undo that really quickly. I'm going to bring those faces back really quick, because here's what I want to do. I'm going to select both faces again. Oh my gosh, I don't know what's going on. All right, I'm going to select both faces again, and let's see here. We're going to go back to X-ray mode, and I'm going to just press I for inset, and I'm going to inset to the depth of about the ring. So we'll do that. There we go. And then we can jump out of X-ray mode again with those same faces still selected. Now I'm going to press X and get rid of the faces. So now we have this. And I'm going to select this. I'm going to hold down my option key. I select vertices. And I'm going to select either side. So I'm holding shift and option to get the ring. And then what I'm going to do, let me see. I'm going to it's going to be what? Bridge. So let's bridge edge loops. Is that what we want to do? Yes. Okay, so bridge edge loops. So you're going to go to edge, bridge edge loops, and that's going to close it like that. You see? And that's just a fun little trick to get it how you want it. If you selected fill, it would fill the whole thing. And that's not what we wanted. So we do want to keep that hole there. Okay, that's pretty straightforward for that part. Right, and then we'll add a bevel, I think, after the fact. I think if we just use a bevel modifier, that'll be plenty. So let's go ahead and do this diamond shape here. And you can see there's a bit of a, let's see, if we go on the side view here, that'll really help us kind of get a better understanding. Okay. So what I think our best bet to do is, before we do this part here, we're going to do Shift A, and I'm going to go for mesh, and I think we have literally like a gemstone. So this is in our extras, I believe. So we'll do diamond. We literally have the geometry that we're looking for here. So do we want to keep it 32 segments? Do we want to drop it to 24? I think 32 is fine for now. I think I'm comfortable with that for now. We'll do, if you can kind of see the geometry in here, it's a lot of triangulated geometry. And I'm trying to think, how important is that going to be for us in this render? Now, if we were sending this to a client, I would absolutely say that that is critical. But for our purposes, I don't know how much time I want to spend on remeshing it to get the polygons to look exactly like it. So we'll start here. If it's unbearable, then we'll do what needs to be done. The one thing I will do though is I'm going to hit 2 so I can edge select. I'm going to select this edge and I want to bevel it because there's a clear, intense bevel that's happening right there, and I want that to be very prominent, very obvious. So let's get that bevel going. And we'll scroll our wheel a couple times. Let's bring it down just a bit. Maybe right there. I'm going to select everything. I'm going to grab on the Z. Let's go ahead and pull it up. I'm going to do this here. And I'm going to scale her down. So let's just get the top where we want it. And then I'm going to go ahead and do vertex select. So 1. I'm going to grab this on the Z and we're just going to pull this down so that we are roughly where we would want to be, which is about here. And you know, we can add that triangular shape with some loop cuts, so we can actually get that more defined later on. So for now, let's go ahead and do the block out, and I think that so far we are in very good shape. I'm just going to scale it in to get it fitting just a little bit better. Let's do that. I'm already really loving how this looks, and before we go any further, let me go ahead and save. Let me go ahead and get in here to my Blender files. We already have a folder for her, so we're here with it. I'm gonna name it Vera Wang Love. Let's do that. All right, and then I'm seeing that the bevel is even more, but instead of obsessing over that too much, we'll just scale it in. So let's go ahead and just scale it in a little bit more to get that rounded look. I think that's okay. I think we don't need to be obsessive over that too much right now. So let's go ahead and jump out of here. Oof, I love it already. How pretty. And now that we have the diamond shape, we can go ahead and do that V shape that the diamond is sitting in. So let me go back into X-ray mode here. And I think for the V shape, what we'll do is we'll just do a cube and we'll just turn it how we need to turn it. So I'm going to jump into edit mode. I'm going to grab on the Z. Let's go ahead and scale it down a bunch. And I want to rotate it. Are we rotating on the Y? Yes. So let's go ahead and rotate on the Y. You know what? Let's see. let's use this. I'm gonna rotate on the Y 45 degrees. Before I do that, let me undo that. Oops. Put that at 0. I scale you down. The reason why it rotated so weird is my origin. So let me just get it in place here. I'm gonna tab out. I'm gonna select my cube again, and then I'm gonna put my origin to geometry so that the rotation makes sense. Let's do 45 degrees like that, so it's exactly where it needs to be. And then I'm gonna grab on the Z. Let's go ahead and pull it up, just like that. I think I want to loop cut this. Let's see. So instead of loop cutting, maybe if we just get rid of these vertices. And then let's go ahead and scale that in. And then we'll fill that, and that's going to give us our upside down triangle. And with edges selected, let's see, let's go ahead and jump out of X-ray mode. I'm going to kind of do the same thing, so I'm going to select my edge. I'm going to go ahead and fill that one. I'm going to select this edge as well. Let's go ahead and fill that one. With that back edge still selected, I'll hold down shift, click this. Let's undo that. I'm going to press 3 for face select, hold down shift, and then let's get our front facing camera. And you know what, before I do that, let me grab just this top face, and I'm gonna grab it on the Z, and we're just gonna pull it down where it needs to be. And then I'm gonna scale it in to where it needs to be, which is there. Get a little bit closer. I'll leave a little extra space because we are gonna be beveling, so. All right, so jumping back out of X-ray mode again, I'm gonna select both faces again. And we'll go back into X-ray mode. I'm gonna inset. And I'm just gonna get it so that this matches, and we can always pull this up. So once that's insetted, let's go to edge select here, making sure X-ray mode is still selected, and I'm just going to grab this on the Z, and then I'm going to scale it like that. Grab on the Z again. We'll do a little something like that, and then what we're gonna do, I'm gonna select all these edges here, and I'm gonna merge by distance, but I just wanna, you know what, we don't have to do that, because let me select this edge. I'm gonna scale it in. Because we're going to be deleting, so let's just hold off before we merge anything. Leave it like that. Let's see what we're working with here. Okay. So in a perfect world, oh, perfect. So we're gonna split that right in half. You know what? Maybe we're not going to split that in half. You know why? Because I think... Let me keep working this. Let's see. Let's see if we get rid of this face, what we're looking like. So let me get rid of this face. Let me go ahead and hide the diamond just for now. I'm gonna also get rid of this face. And I think we can also get rid of the top face. And what I'm feeling like can happen is we bring the whole thing in and duplicate it on either side. So I'm going to select everything. I want to scale it on the Y. I think that's my safest bet, honestly. Let's grab on the Y and pull it out. And it's literally right at the edge. We'll get rid of that extra edge up there. Or we'll actually, let's see. I'm gonna join, I'm gonna hit 1. And I'm gonna fill that, and I'm gonna do the same here. Fill that. Then we'll get rid of these edges right here. So let me select these 4 and we'll fill, and then we'll do these 4. There may have been a better way to do this, but this is just what my brain is having me do, so I feel good about it. All right, so I'm gonna do edge select and see if I can just dissolve this edge. Let's see. Let's see. Okay, cool. All right, that's good. And then we'll kind of do the same thing that we did before, where we'll select these. Well, I guess, yeah, we'll select these 4. Maybe, hold on. I think I have to pick all of them. And then edge, bridge. Not quite. Okay, we can do that, but then we have this extra face that we don't want. So let's undo that. All right, bear with me, because I just want, oh, you know what? Why don't we do this? Just those 2. I'm gonna fill that, and I'll do like this. Boom. And then I'll do this one, this one, this one, this one. Fill that. Okay, cool. That works. Maybe not perfect, but it's something. Yeah, okay. And then again, we'll do bevel later on. And then just looking at these, it looks like the V is literally just right outside of the diamond. So let me go ahead and save it. And then I'm trying to think if I want to mirror it or just duplicate it. All right, let me duplicate. I'm gonna, oh, you know what? Instead of that, why don't I Alt-D? That way, any changes that I do will be the same for both, but I'm not restricted by the mirror modifier. Okay, so I think that's pretty good. And then we can always use the proportional editing to give it a little bit more. But I think the bevel is going to be the critical piece of this whole thing. Let's go ahead and get the diamond back in there. Beautiful. And I think we'll have to just make the diamond a little bit smaller now. Let's go ahead and go back into X-ray mode. Diamond. Let's get the origin to the diamond so that it makes sense. And let me scale on the Y so it's not as aggressive. As far as the size, let's look at it now. Okay, I think, let me look at another picture here, because it's a pretty big diamond. Let me look at this one. It's kind of just sitting right on top, so maybe if I pull this out, see if I pull it out just enough. Okay, yeah, I think that's good. And then I'll do the same on this side. Pull it out just enough. And I can thicken it a little bit in the back. I feel like it's thick enough though, you know? How much thicker do we have to go? So let me go back. Let's just make the diamond a little bit smaller. I feel better about doing that than scale it in on the Y a bit. That's okay. Do like that. Okay, I think we're in good shape. It's a nice little block out. We'll get some bevel going. Really kick it up a notch. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our bevel. I mean, we're really close to like, honestly, like being done with this. Like, it's insane, but this also could be thicker, if I'm being honest. Let's go ahead and do some edge select. And then what I'm gonna do to make it a little bit thicker is we'll scale it in. Yeah, I'll make it a little thicker. I like that. All right, let me tab out. I'm gonna use the bevel modifier and just see what that gives. If it doesn't give what I want, I'll do my own bevel. Sometimes, okay, yes, this is what we're thinking. So let's see what we could get it at. Let's just zoom in here and get us at what we want. So let's just go 0.01 and see where that goes. We want a bunch more segments for sure. See if I can find a better bevel here. Maybe this image. So pretty, isn't it? Not quite. The shadows are kind of taken away from it. Let me see. Maybe right up in here. Yeah, this is good. Okay. Maybe if we go points. All right, so I'm thinking 0.0150. Yeah. Why don't we do that? I think that gives it a nice soft bevel. Is that too much? We'll leave it there for now. So I'm gonna do this. What is it? Control L, and then we'll just copy modifiers. Amazing. Cool. Now everybody gets a bevel. How's that look? I just think this piece is a little bit, maybe this one needs to be a bit more. We'll bump it up to 10. No, it's not that. It's not quite that. That's a bit too much. Let's leave it there. And then I think what I'm going to do, because it just feels like it's extended out a bit too much. So I'm going to just select either edge. And we'll do our own little bevel. So can we Control B that? Yeah. And let's add a couple scrolls. And I think that's going to help tremendously. Do we like that? Oh, I have to sneeze. Okay, sorry. Okay. I think that's really pretty. Again, never seen the bottle, so We're kind of winging it. It feels a little thick also up top. So why don't I face select you and you. Scale on the X. No. I'm going to select everything. I'm going to scale on the X here. It just feels a little wide for me. You know, it's a little wider than this. I don't love that. What if we edge select? Okay. Or you know what? Why don't I edge select this one? Now I'm just kind of being nitpicky, but no, I don't like that either. Okay, what if we tab out? Let's hide you for 1 second. You tab in. I'm gonna grab this edge and see what that does. Yes, it's exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, so let me, if I go to here though, yeah, okay, exactly, okay. I knew it. So let's grab on the X and let's pull that in a lot. Much better. Same here. I knew something felt a little off. Let's grab on the X again. Let's pull you in. Amazing. Okay, that feels much better. There's a nice little bevel on it. Let's get our diamond shape back. Let's go ahead and get rid of you. Well, no, you're the same, so we're gonna do that again. Copy modifiers. Let's select everything and put the origin to geometry for everything, so we're just in a better position. Okay, let's go ahead and save it. Does this feel a little thicker than it should be? Now it feels a little thick. Hold on. Let's fix that. Let me scale it inward. Just like, we'll go in between. Okay, we'll leave it there. I'm gonna stop playing with it. Okay, so that's the basic shape, right? And then what we need to do next is cut this diamond in half. So let's see how this loop cut's gonna behave for us. It's not gonna be that easy to cut this thing in half. So we got a couple options. I have a option. I know what I'll do. So I'm gonna tab out. We're gonna do two things. I'm gonna shift D. I'm gonna grab on the X. I'm just gonna bring this over. I think my best bet is to just use the Boolean. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Just need one. Okay, I think my best bet, I'm gonna just walk through this, is to Boolean. Now, the thing that my brain kind of has me trying to figure out as far as ordering of things goes, is it critical? I need to make the decision. Is it critical for the diamond to have the triangular polygons? Like, is that critical for the look of the diamond? Or are we comfortable with the polygons just going straight up and down vertically. If it's critical, it's probably best for me to tackle that now. If it's not critical, I can just move on to the Boolean portion of this. Now, what I'm seeing here on the base here, not so critical. Up top, feels a little bit more critical. So let's just see how I can play with this to get that diamond shape. There may even be, I think there's a way to triangulate the faces. So let me just kind of play around a little bit. Face. Oh, I can do triangulate face. Oh, okay. Well, if I do that, that could work. Okay. So you know what? Let's Boolean. We have two. We have a duplicate, so it's fine. One's going to be the top, one's going to be the bottom. So if we jump into X-ray mode, I'm going to Shift A and I'm going to add a cube, a basic cube. I'm just going to grab it on the Z and get it into the position. So the base is going to be about here. So we'll grab on the X, pull it over. This will be our base piece. So let me just scale it down so it's not like taking over. Let's go ahead and get it into the right area again. Let's grab on the Z. All right, so we're gonna cut it to about here. Grab on the X. This is the best way that I think I can do this without having to like loop cut it and do all that jazz. So that's that. So I'm gonna select the cutter, which is my box. I'm gonna select my diamond, Shift Control B, Boolean, and we're gonna do a difference. You know what? Let me undo that. Let's undo that. I'm going to do it the opposite way. So let's grab on the X. I'm gonna grab on the Z, and we're gonna do it from top to bottom. So we're gonna do, I'm gonna go up just a little bit above it, just in case we do like a bevel or something. All right, so we're just switching what we're cutting. Let's jump out of here. My cutter's selected, my diamond selected, Shift Control B. I'm gonna do the difference. Okay, and let's do it again. Perfect. I mean, I can scale it down a little bit. Grab on the Z. Bringing it to about here. Cutter still selected, diamond selected. Before I do that, I just want one extra. So I'm gonna grab on the X. Just gonna have one extra just in case things go haywire. Let's just hide that one. Just in case, you know what I mean? You never know. Shift Control B. Undo the difference. So now we have our diamond. It's just in two separate pieces. Origin to geometry. Let's do the same. That's fine. Grab on the X. We'll put our diamond back together. If I go here, hit it with 0, 0, and then we should be good. Grab on the Z. How's that? Okay. It's a tiny line of demarcation, but that's okay, because I think what we'll do is we'll bevel the top of either so that it's clearly a difference in the top and the bottom. Okay, so that's our top and bottom. And then what goes on the inside is the spray applicator and all that. So we'll just do that on the inside. And then let's worry about getting these edges triangulated. So let's just maybe keep this still selected, or you know what, just this loop selected, and then we'll do faces, triangulate faces. And then what I'm seeing here that might make a big difference is if we alt individual faces a little bit. Not loving that. I'm just gonna try to see what we could do. Let's maybe back that up a bit. I'm just trying a bunch of different ways in which to kind of like bring the depth of this diamond. Like make it more intense. As you can kind of see, some edges are poking out more than others. Let's see what that gives. So not quite that. We'll let it be triangulated for now, and then maybe what we'll do, I think it's all about the Boolean. So let me do edge select. This might be annoying and tedious, but it might be really worth it. So maybe if I do kind of studying the image here. This is giving me a bit of a flat Boolean. So maybe if I do this, it's a bit of a flat Boolean. So I find sometimes also, we might need to do faces, so I'm going to play with this a little bit and see how I can work this. Right, and then if I bevel, I keep saying Boolean, but I mean bevel. And let's scroll. Bevel, not so much. Okay, just enough. And now it's giving a little. Okay, what's that giving? See, that'll give it a little bit of depth, a little bit, I think. But I'm not sure how it's going to look in the diamond form. I really wish I had this bottle in front of me. Okay, you know what else I think I could do here? That could save me a ton of time. Okay. Am I able to just select this whole edge, all these faces. Let me go ahead and go as far back as I can. Because I just feel like once we start triangulating things, the geometry does get a little bit complicated. Okay. All right. So here's another trick that I'm thinking. I could do an inset for everything, just a tiny one. Oh wait, maybe not that one. So let me do, can I do Alt-I? Alt-E along individual faces. Nope, you know what we'll do? We'll do Alt-S, because that's gonna give me what I need. Maybe just S? No. Bear with me here. Okay, there we go, there we go. So I could do this. God, I hope this works. And then bevel, I think. But like not too much. A little something like that. And then what I'll do is face. Or no, sorry, select. Similar. Let's deselect this whole thing. All right, and then maybe I can triangulate this face now. Let's see. Oh, we can. And then maybe what we'll do now is Alt-E along normals and just pull it out just a little bit for texture. This is me winging it. I have no idea. You know what? Let's not do it that way. Let's do Alt-E along individual faces because we want the triangles. So I'll pull it out one more, and then Control B. Yes. Oh my gosh. This is exactly what I was wanting to do. Right? And then I think this is what I want. Does that give diamond? I mean, to a certain extent. Maybe once we get the glass. Okay, you know what I think? I think this is too big of a difference, but I think we're getting there. So I think, what can I make that smaller? Okay, I think that's what we want. All right, so can I undo it enough to get back? So yeah, that's a little too thick. So we'll just go a little bit less. And maybe we could do the whole thing now. So we'll do both. All right, so I think I got it. So we're gonna inset just a bit. Like not even a lot. Like that's too much. Okay, let's maybe inset that much. And then what did we do? And then we Alt-E individual faces first, or did we scale? No, we'll do that, okay. So we'll come out, not too much. just enough for texture. Maybe like that much, and then we'll Control B for a bevel, but like not too much. Maybe like that much, and then we'll click the faces, and we'll do select similar area, and then face, we'll triangulate. I'm winging it, totally winging it. And then we're gonna Alt E individual faces so that every triangle kind of gets its own vibe. Come out. We'll do that much maybe. And then Control B again to bevel along. Let's see, we scroll it so it's not. And you know, this is the best we're gonna get. But I think it's good. I wish you guys could see how close my face is to the computer. Trying to do this. I mean, it's a little uniformy, but maybe once we put the shader on, it'll work. And we have a backup, so you know, whatever. Let's just see what that gives. I think it's fine. And then we have the top that looks like that, which is good. Let's just see what it looks like once we put the shader. You know what I mean? It's a little intense right now, but who knows? It might look really good. And if it doesn't, we'll just use the default one. I'm fine with that. Okay, so next things next. We just need to do this part, the applicator, which is pretty simple. It's just 2 pieces, so there's not too much happening. So let's grab, or you know what, let's leave that. We'll do diamond dot top for that. What's this one? We'll do diamond dot bottom for that. The top, we'll just hide it for now. We also are going to have to get rid of this. So let's do that. So Shift A, do a cube, tab into edit mode, then we go ahead and scale it down. Now, oh my gosh, I didn't even see my chat. I wasn't even paying attention. Let me know if the mic is still low. Use non-destructive bevel instead. Then you can adjust the weight. Oh my gosh. Mr. Mittens, thank you for the info. I'm assuming you mean the diamond area. Let me know if the mic is too low. I can go back in and fix it, I think. A tiny bit low still. Okay. Okay, let me increase the volume. Okay, how about now? Let me know if it's like blowing. Okay. I'll go back in and do that. Let me bevel this away. I mean, boolean this away really quickly. Okay. I got so into it, I wasn't even paying attention to the chat. I'm so sorry. Okay, let me just get rid of the top part. Okay, well, I should save it. Let me save it really quickly. Let me see. Maybe if I turn it up in OBS, it'll be a little bit louder. As long as it doesn't go in the red, I think we should be good. Oh, wait. Okay, let me just turn up in my OBS. I'll advanced audio properties. Okay, cool. So mic, I'll put it up to 4.5. We'll do 5. Let me know if this is too much. Okay, let me know if it's too much. Here, and I'll turn up my Yeti's all the way up. So hopefully it's not too bad. Let me check it. Let me know. Okay. I have it all. That's perfect. Okay, amazing. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, let me get this cut. And then we'll go back and tackle the diamond again. Okay, so I have my cutter selected, then this. Shift Control B. Hold on. Let me duplicate this just in case. Oops. Just this one. I don't know. I just like to have duplicates just in case I get nervous. And there's no clipping. Okay, cool. Thank you so much. I would have totally missed that. Okay. Do I need to go down a little bit more? I feel like I'm going to pull this down just a tad bit more. Just to be... Okay, yeah. Let's do that. And then my cutter selected. Then this. Shift Control B. Difference. Boom. Okay, cool. So that's what we're looking for. Love that. All right, now let's do... Wait. My daughter is also playing upstairs. Oh, okay. No, but I'd rather it be a little too loud than not loud enough. So thank you. Okay. So the spray applicator is actually on the diamond top. So let's do that. Oh my gosh. Wait. This diamond top. Okay. Do I have a boolean on this also? I don't. I mean a bevel. You know what? Let's do this. Let me put the shader on and see just what it looks like. It's the best thing that we could do. Let me get an HDRI in here. Because now we're getting to that point anyway, so we may as well. I always like doing this towards the end. It's really satisfying, I feel like, to kind of pull it all together, but we'll keep it basic. We'll just do studio lighting. And then let's see. Let me go to my asset browser. I mean, I could just make a glass really quickly. It's fine. Let's just see what it looks like. God. So let's just get rid of that. Glass BSDF. We'll just put that in. It's a little too uniformy, I think. Probably want to solidify it to get a better reflection. Okay. Yeah, okay. So let me add that, but I think it's a little too uniformed because in this reference, it's not as uniformed, you know? And I think, wait a minute. What if I were to like poke the edges? Because what this is giving is like square, and then everything's like merged in the center, but triangulated. And then same here, and then I'm assuming the same all the way around versus long triangles. So good thing we have duplicates. No big deal. So, okay, let's work through this. Okay, use a subtle noise texture for the iOS. It will help with uniformity. Okay. I think I want to change the geometry altogether for this. Good try. Felt like a good idea, but I'm going to switch that out, I think. All right, so jumping into here. How can I make this work? Okay, let's just focus on the top for now, because the bottom's a little different. So I want to focus on the top for now. Okay, so this would be my center line. And then looking at my reference, so I feel like it would be like 1, 2, 3, 4. And the cut that would make sense is like here to here, here to here, merge center. Or I knew this was going to be a whole thing. There's always one piece of it that's like, the edging look like it needs to be beveled to match. And the center here, this here. Or this one here. Is this one the one you're saying? The center edge. Oh, I wish this was already pre-done the way that I needed it. But how would they know? I know there's like poke faces. Yeah, see how the edges are bright. So are you thinking that going up and down vertically, those need to be beveled also first? This is kind of what I was thinking when I thought like the poke faces, except it feels like it'd be one big square and then the poke face. And that would make more sense. So are you saying like if I go to edge select all these edges like that and bevel these? Yeah, just a guess, but yeah, no, I understand totally. All right, so if I do select, why would you pick? That's interesting. Let's just see. I'm gonna select just the front ones and let's just bevel it and see what that does. I should duplicate it again, but first I'll just do this and then just see what it gives. All right. Yeah, but also looks like you might have too much geometry. Right. And in the beginning, I did up the geometry. You're absolutely correct. And set the bevel edge weights to 1. Here in the modifier. Okay. Oops. Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. I think I know what you're talking about. I remember, and the panel. Okay, gotcha. Oh, bevel weight. Oh, here. Okay. And then set this to 1, you're saying? You're really teaching me something, because I love bevels, but they don't always work to my. I can also bring in a new diamond, you know what I mean? Okay, perfect. Oh, wow. And then do I do control B now to bevel? Oh. I see what you're saying. Okay, then in your modifier, change it to limited weight. Okay, gotcha. Oh, limited. Okay, change it to limited weights. Nice. Okay. And then change it in here. Oh my gosh, you're a genius. Oh, I see. Let me get these deselected. Oh, this is what happens when you do it this way. The other drop down, okay. So let me go back. Oh no. 0150 we did. So this one, the segments. Other drop down. Now you can just adjust it in the modifier. Okay, gotcha. Okay, so I think the best thing to do for the diamond shape is segments to 3 is fine to start. Increase your offset a little. Okay, so let's go 3. Oh, it's so bright in here. Oh, is it because I selected those? Is that why it's only doing those ones and not the whole thing? Amount, I mean. Okay. It's okay. This is all like learning curve, trial and error right now. Oh, I see. Okay, cool. All right, I'm going to, before I start destroying this too much, let me duplicate it. Or no, I'm not going to duplicate it. You know why? Because I'm going to do another diamond. I just feel like, yep, you can select it all and just set your bevel weight to 1. Okay. I'm going to do a new diamond with less geometry. So I went to, did I increase it to more than 32? Maybe if I do 24. Is that better? Well, let's see something. 12. No. For all the edges. Okay. 24. 16, you would do 16. Okay, 16. Okay. Let's do 16 then. This is a team effort. All right, let's go ahead and I'm just going to hide these for now. You know what I mean? This is easy to fix. We got everything else where we need it. So let's go ahead and just manipulate this. Let me tab in and I'm going to scale it a bunch. Okay, and then we get this. Let's grab you. I think it's just like a default thing to kind of assume that the more geometry, the better, when that's not always the case. And the thing of it is that I need to like remember, so you can always add more geometry. So, okay. Also, on your first diamond, if you select all of those up and down edges, you can then do select, check, or deselect, and select half of them. Oh, right. Okay, you're right. I didn't even think of that, just dissolving the edges that I don't need. You're absolutely right. I want to, I'm going to keep, I have the other, so I'm definitely going to keep it. And in these moments where it's like a lot of trial and error, and that's why I do these lives, for the trial and error of it all, so I don't anticipate like it going super smooth. This one's going smoother than a lot of them, but there always is like at one point where it's just like a lot of just trial and error. So a lot of times once I get off live, play around with a lot of things. So I'm gonna keep all those diamonds for like practice, to really practice like getting the faces exactly how I want, because I haven't had the challenge of having to get the faces exactly like this. Check or deselect. Yeah, totally. And I did do another perfume, the Valentino Born in Roma, which has a lot of points on it. So it's very similar to this, except there's just a bunch of tiny square poked faces. I used poke faces for that particular one, so that's why that's kind of coming to me for this one. So anyway, I think first of all, this is much better. I think it aligns much better, because now we just need essentially like, it's looking like maybe a loop cut across the top and then a poke face in the center, and then I can kind of extrude it a little. That's what it feels like I can do. And then I can bevel these using the technique you just told me with the weight. Yeah, right. That's what I'm saying. I don't know. It feels like it would be a bit of a texture, but in my mind, there's something happening that's allowing the light to reflect off of it in that way. That's why I love to have the bottle like in front of me. So just having the image is very challenging, because on here, is it just smooth and there's just something happening on the inside? Okay, so poke would subdivide it as tries, so you'll get 4 for every face. And this has 1, 2, 3. And I mean, if I could edge loop from here to here, here to here, and then like merge in the center, and then pull maybe the center up, that might give me my result that I want. But I just don't know if my edge loop is gonna, well, okay, let me just try something. Let me scale it in. I don't know. I'm gonna just see what this does. And then, okay, and then what if I do here and here and do that? And then, right, that's what I'm thinking. And then this and this. and then this to this. You know, I feel like this is gonna be worth it. That's what I feel. This to this, fill. Let me let my friend know I'm on live right now. Call you, what time is it right now? 3:23. Okay. Sorry, my friend was calling me. Okay. So now I'm thinking if I click this, let's just see what happens. I'm going to click this. I'm going to merge at center so that it's just 1 point. Oh, no, I don't want that at all. Just kidding. Never mind. Oh, it's because I selected. Let's get out of this. Oh no, what's going on? Oh, you know what? It's because I was in X-ray mode. It just merged the wrong things. Okay. Okay. It's okay. We're gonna have to do that anyway. So I'm just gonna keep it in this mode here. So here, let's fill. Here and here, let's fill. But that doesn't create a point right there, so that kind of sucks. But if I do, ooh, hold on. Oh, and then do I have to fill these individually? Because that's annoying. I hate that. Okay, maybe that's not the route I want to go. Let me just get it back to my default. Then, oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. Since it's 16 faces, you should be able to split it in half. That makes sense. Okay, yeah, I'm just going to poke. I'm just going to poke it. It just feels like the right thing to do. So, let me see. Okay, perfect. All right, so why don't I just do that? Oops. Face, I just want to see. Yeah, okay. Whatever. I feel like that's better than it's better than nothing. I mean, it doesn't look fantastic, but I don't know, maybe once the light hits it and stuff, it'll be great. So let's go ahead and poke faces here. Yeah, that's just fine. That's just fine. And then, what do I want to do? I want to kind of wanna. The hard part is those faces are flat, so even if you have extra edges, they won't do anything to the light. Right. I'm gonna attempt to extrude. No. I want to extrude the individual faces, I think. Just enough to like something like that. It's like not that intense, but okay, so maybe something like that. I think from afar, you have to take those vertices of the poke faces and I'll scale along normals. What's that look like outside of here? I mean, that's fine. Maybe go to the other direction so the edges are slightly, instead of sunken. Oh, is that how it would be? Is it extruding or is it like inside? It looks like it's kind of doing both. This is so, let me see. Yeah, my scale across normals is not working. It does this weird thing where like I have to constantly like let me get out of it quick and then try again. I'm not gonna no, it is. And I knew in the very beginning that this would be the thing that would be very, very hard. And I was like, how serious do I want to go with this? Like, how intense do I want to be with it looking exactly like the bottle? So I have to get out of the want for it to be absolutely perfect, especially if I don't have it in my face. So this is all speculation. This could just be what the image is making it look like, but this is not at all how it is. For instance, the image of the Dior perfume looks nothing, I mean, it looks very similar to the real perfume, but it does not look identical to the image. So sometimes these images are not even real. They're just, I don't want to say AI, but they're just to make it look really pretty. So I'm gonna do along normals. I'm just gonna do the last thing that I did and just kind of leave it there because I'll be here all day on this one thing, and I'm not submitting this for anything. This is just for my own personal little portfolio. So, but you know, I will definitely take some time and play with it. I'll definitely play with it a little bit later. But I mean, I think this looks better than the other one did. This looks closer to this than the other one. So I'm gonna be okay with this. I'm okay with what that looks like. Yeah, I feel like, yeah, most of them are CG. So even getting it the appropriate color is super hard. So I've just come to terms with that. And that's okay. This is all for practice anyway, so I don't want to get super hung up on it. So same, I guess we have this bottom, so I'll keep that bottom that, and then let me see here, cylinder. All right, let's go ahead and cut this in half one more time. So let's just do that. I'm ready to get to some, whoops. I'm ready to get to some shading. I wish it was realistic for me to do fluid simulations on live, but it just, I mean, I did last week, but it was pretty brutal. Difference, cool. Okay, I think we're looking good. A little practice per day, mostly hard surface, topology. Yeah, topology is probably one of the things that I tend to struggle with when it comes to just like changing. Oh, look at this. They're not even the same size any longer. Let me change the scale of this. Yeah, but I like doing these lives because I feel like it helps with that. And I love doing perfume bottles for that exact reason, because a lot of times the perfume bottle will be what looks like a square, and it's not. It's just not that simple, and it just presents so many challenges that you just like don't anticipate having. Oh my goodness. So wait, it's the right size there, but not. I'll scale it on the Y then. Like my Fenty Beauty perfume that I did, the Fenty bottle is essentially a rectangle. And it took a while. Oh my gosh, get out. Who's Curtis Holtz? First of all, I have to thank him because that's so awesome. Does Curtis Holt do Blender also? That's so cool. Thank you. Wow. I'm just a girl trying to learn Blender. Yeah, I've been in Blender for, I don't know, I think I'm going on my 3rd year at this point. And I love it all the same, you know, I love it all the same. Don't quote me. Oh, I love it. Thank you. Well, nonetheless, I'll definitely check out Curtis. Honorable mention. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's such a cool program. And I came here as a painter, so just kind of the instant gratification that you're able to get from Blender just did something for me that a painting couldn't. I mean, a painting satisfies me in a separate way, but I don't know, it was just the moment I tried Blender, I was like, oh, this is incredible. I actually learned about Blender from T-Pain, believe it or not. I was in a T-Pain stream randomly, like watching, and he had a logo that was like floating around, and it was the coolest thing. And people in the chat were like, oh, who did your logo? Who did your logo? And he's like, what? I did it in Blender. And I was like, what? So I Googled it. I literally Googled it while he was on stream. And the rest is like history. It's insane. Oh my gosh. That's so cool. Like, Blender's been around for so long, and I just can't believe. I just wish that I had known about this like in high school. You know, I'm like, I'd be a totally different person had I known this was an option. So cool. It's just so cool. Yeah, and I just think the one thing, I've tried a little bit of everything, but I love doing like product renders. I think that's kind of where my heart lies. I actually just recently decided to finish my degree in industrial design for that exact reason. I was like, this is just kind of my jam. I mean, I know AI is taking over, but I can't imagine that this would go away. I just can't. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. I know, when I see it from back in the day when it was like all gray, I'm like, that would have been so hard. But still, it's just so cool to have like been here from the beginning. I love it. It's so great. It's so fun. I'm never over it. And that's how I know like that it's something that I really enjoy, because I'm just never over it. I'm never bored of it. I can always find something creative to do in it. It just checks all the boxes for me. I mean, I am in the process of learning Houdini, relearning Houdini. I'm always in and out of the process of learning Houdini, but Houdini is like an elevated blender, which I love as well. I love like the geometry node or the node-based way of learning. I think that's really cool too. So I have done a good amount of Houdini work too, but I always end up right back here in Blender. I did Unreal for a cool minute too. Unreal is cool. I haven't been in it in so long, but I do miss it. I made some really cool stuff in there. I feel like I'm being obsessive at this point. And I could just make the bottom that fits this, because this is no longer the bottom that fits. So let's just get rid of it. And I'll just do a new one with the right amount of vertices anyway. Diamond 16. Cool. Grab on the Z. Let's just get it to the exact size as this one, to just avoid any problems. Grab on the Z. My goal for 2026 is to just get a lot more of all the saved content that I have on my computer edited and uploaded. I have so many hours of just stuff that I've done that I do think would be useful. It's just kind of interesting, because what I'll do is I'll just record myself in Blender, not realizing that, okay, you just recorded yourself for 4 hours and now you have to do a voiceover for 4 hours. So it's a bit overwhelming trying to find the balance in how to put out useful content that isn't just repetitive but just helpful to the community. So still trying to find that balance, but I do think these are helpful if you're into this kind of thing. Okay, so we're just gonna no. So this Shift Control B, difference, Cool, cool. And then I'll grab on the Z. Made a huge mistake here, but you know what? We're gonna get there. Let me tab, select all, scale. Oh no. Y only, please. Y only. All right, there we go. Now we're talking. Wow, we did it. All right, let me save it here. I think I can make the base. I mean, it's actually okay for it to have that line of demarcation because one's a top and one's a bottom. And that's supposed to be obvious, but let me just scale on the Y a little bit more. Or you know what, let me just scale it down a little bit more, the whole thing. Instead of doing that, okay. All scale. Okay. Okay, cool, cool, cool. All right, let's leave that there. Now the very last thing, I'm not brave enough to model live. I do way too much trying and scrapping things. Right. Gotta drop and feed the kiddos, but I'll come back. Thanks so much. You've been amazing. Thank you, Mr. Mittens. I really appreciate you so much. You're awesome. Have a good rest of your day if I don't see you again, but I'll be back next week. Still working. Oh, let me save that and let that go. All right, I think I just have to do the same thing, but these are kind of just split. No, it's still 4. So I'm gonna do the same for this, and we'll do face, poke face, Alt E, long normals, nope, individual faces, I think like maybe like that, then Control B. I think that's good. I think that does it. All right, let me go ahead and save it here. I think we're looking fabulous. Oh my gosh. I mean, a lot of trial and error. A lot of trial and error, but how long have we been on? You know what, for an hour and 48 to have gotten this far with as much trial and error, I'm very happy. I feel very pleased with this. So, feel very happy with how this is turning out. We'll leave it like that. I'm gonna, oh, maybe we won't do that. We'll just do a separate bevel, like its own thing. And I'll just do the one that makes the most sense. How beveled are we? Very, very slightly. 0.02, let's do maybe. Yeah. I think that's good. Let's Let's go ahead and smooth it. Okay, we'll leave it like that so there are some cuts in it. Okay, now we can get going on the spray portion, but before we do that, let me do a quick restroom run and I will be right back. All right, we are back in business. Okay, so now we're on to phase 2. I think we could get this done in about 3 phases, honestly. First things first, I'm thinking we do the little applicator portion. So here's what I'm thinking. I'm going to drop in the image of the applicator. So why don't we gonna make it roughly the size of our diamond. So that's about right. So we'll just bring it over here. Just so we don't have to necessarily move our diamonds, because it just, you know, we'll just leave it there. And we'll just make this really quickly. This doesn't seem too insane. So let's go ahead and rock this and get that on there. So we're gonna just, let me check this off so we're not clicking it by accident. I'm gonna Shift A. I'm gonna use a cube. Let's just pull it up. Okay, cool. Let's scale it down. Thank you to whoever's giving me the heart. Shout out to the hearts in the chat. Thank you. I appreciate you. Whoops. Okay. All right, let's grab that on the Z. Grab on the X. This is one of the easier spray applicators, so I am very happy about that. All right, so simple enough. I'm gonna grab on the Z just a bit more. And then simple face select at the top. Going right back here, I'm gonna Control B and give it a nice little bevel. It's so interesting because sometimes I will do this with a subdivision modifier. It's like, it just depends on how I feel. But this is perfectly fine. Like, this is good enough. It's good enough. It's gonna be really far away anyway. I'm just gonna grab this on the Z. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna Shift A. We're gonna put a cylinder. Let me grab on the X, pull her over. Grab on the Z. Scale it down. Rotate on the X 90. Rotate on the Y 90. We want it like that, actually. I'm doing all this editing in object mode. It's okay. It's just a cylinder. All right, let's grab on the Z. Grab on the X. Let's pull it over. Let's scale it. Scale on the Z. This is just kind of the, kind of see that part that it's like kind of holding it. Let's grab it on the X, grab on the Z here. Scale on the Z again. Kind of like that. This one's gonna be in the bottle or in the top. So we'll just grab the top face here. And I'm gonna Control B. Give it a nice little rounded moment. Let's select it all. Scale it just a little bit larger so that that's kind of sitting, or will be sitting in there. You know what else? We're gonna subdivide this so that it's rounded. So let's go ahead and do that. We'll do 4. And then we'll add some loop cuts to tighten it up. Grab you on the Z here. Pull you down. I mean, a subdivision modifier always comes into play, so I'm gonna take that middle one out and just do this. So we'll do something like that. Select everything, grab on the Z, place it in there real cute. We also can bring this whole thing up a bit. Hold on. Let's do X-ray mode so we're making sure we're getting everything. Pull it up. I can scale it on the X a little bit. But you know what? I'm gonna leave it like this. It's not exactly, I mean, let me see. I can just add another loop cut. Like that. I mean, I could do 2 more, but I think we'll just do the one. We'll just leave it like that. It's fine. It's gonna be pretty far. Even if we see this part, I don't even know if we're gonna, I don't know what sort of an animation I'm gonna be doing for this. So to be honest, we may not even see any of this. So there's also that. All right, let's kind of leave that where it is. And then we jump out of X-ray mode and see what we're working with. You know, I'm gonna get rid of it. Here's what we're gonna do. You know, sometimes you gotta get rid of it. I'm gonna Shift D, grab on the Z, and we're gonna grab on the Z, pull it up to here, E on the Z, bring it on down, and that's just what we're gonna do. How about that? Much better. And then we'll just Control B. Instead of dealing with the whole like subdivision modifier and all that, we'll just rock out with this, right? And then I am gonna do all these pieces separately in case, like in my previous perfume, we had it looking like it was spraying the perfume, so you need the pieces separate so that you can animate them separately. So go here. I'm actually going to scale this down. Let's continue to scale it. Oh, hold on a minute. Select the whole thing. I'm going to scale it to right there. And then let's go ahead and E on the Z. Let's go ahead and pull that down. And 2. I'm gonna edge select, fill this. Whoops. Face select, and then we'll just do a quick little bevel here. Ugh, don't do this to me. Hate when this happens. This whole thing, the whole thing, we just get rid of it. This felt problematic from the start. Edge edge select. It's just, I think I just did too many, I don't know what happened here, but oh my goodness. That would have been such a problem later. I don't know what could have happened. Okay, cool. So let's redo this. So I'm gonna select this, Shift D, grab on the Z. Let's separate this by selection so we don't have no problems. Let's go back here. Scroll it just a little bit. I'm gonna tab back into edit mode, select everything. Let's scale it down to about the right size. Let's grab it on the Z, pull it up to here. And let's E on the Z. Let's go ahead and get it in there. And then our last little thing. Put a nice little bevel. Not too much. I think that's good. And I think we're talking. So there's that. We'll just put, it's so interesting because these little, the holes for the spray is always in such different places. The Dior hole was like almost at the very top, and then this one's like all the way down here. It's so interesting to see how they come up with where it should be and how different every single perfume is. Okay, so we're just gonna do a quick hole just in case we do some sort of an animation for it. This will just be already, that was what kind of took the Dior perfume a little bit longer for me to finish, because I had to go in and do all the like tiny little details like this. So I feel like because we're pretty ahead of whatever schedule we're on, I typically go live for like 3 hours. So if we're going off of that schedule, we have like an hour. So I would love to get to a point where we are all shaded in and everything has its texture. I could even go as far as trying to figure out what sort of fluid simulation I'd like to do. I love to do fluid simulations with these. Like, I mean, I just love working with fluid simulations, period. Although they're not the best to try to do on live, we were able to get to a certain place last week, so I don't know why this cylinder does this sometimes, but it makes like 2. So I'm just gonna get rid of all of it and then we'll just do it again. I don't know what that's all about. Like, it's the weirdest thing. Okay. I'm just trying to create a Boolean here. So, not really sure where this one comes in. Or this one. I don't know. I feel like that's a glitch in Blender where like you'll add a geometry and there's just so many layers. I don't know what that's all about. But I ain't tripping. Like what's going on? How many edges could there be? Okay, cool. So yeah, so we got this. And then so we don't run into that issue again, let me see how far in we've gone. That's fine. I usually go in about halfway. And also, let's grab on the Z. It's not quite. So I guess that's where it should be. Cool. And then what I'll do, yeah, we'll do it till about there. And then it doesn't feel centered to me, but I'm gonna just go off the picture. I'm just gonna Shift D, grab on the X, because we're gonna essentially put that back for that little piece there. So, and actually we're gonna need 2 pieces. So let's grab that. Just do that for now. And that's our cutter. Let me just, let me do Alt A. I don't know if I'm just gonna apply the transform just so we don't run into any issues. I'm gonna select the cutter, then the top. Oh no. I think it's because this is a weird cylinder. I should have known that it would give me trouble. All right, let's just get rid of these then. I'm gonna do one more time. Try to keep our manipulation of the cylinder to a minimum so we don't run into any issues. So grab on the Z. This tends to happen a lot with cylinders. I don't know what it is, but it happens. All right, let's go ahead and scale it down one more time. Let's jump back into X-ray mode. I'm gonna grab on the Z, scale it down a bunch again. Let's pull it over. All right, cool. Let me scale it down again so I know. We're looking good. All right, cool. Last things last. Let's grab on the Y. Let's just grab this back face, grab on the Y, pull it back about halfway, and then that looks pretty good. So same situation. Let's actually just make sure it's coming out enough. So I think that should be fine. One more time, Shift D, X, and then Shift D for this, just so we have the pieces that we're gonna need later. Again, selecting the cutter, then this. Cool, now we have a hole where we want it. Then we're just gonna take this second piece that we just created, grab it on the X, pull it in, back here into the hole. And then I'm gonna tab into edit mode, select all, and I'm just gonna scale it so that there's a bit of a, you can kind of see. So we grab on the Y and kind of pull it back into the middle. Grab on the, oh, on the X, I mean. So let's grab on the X. Just try to get it centered of the hole. And then we're gonna grab on the Y and pull it all the way, or not all the way, but we're gonna pull it in like, maybe like that. And that'll give us something to color. And I mean, honestly, we can make it a little bit bigger. Doesn't have to be that. Yeah. Is that too big? Let's scale it down a bit. Let me tab in really quick. I'm gonna scale it just a tad bit more. Cool, cool. And then last but not least, then we'll take this. I'm gonna tab into edit mode, select all. I'm just gonna scale it down a bunch right now. Grab it on the Z, I'm sorry, on the X. Let's do that. Let's grab on the Y and pull it out. And still with the face selected. Oh God. You know what? Let me just select all, scale on the Y. Like that. And we just want a tiny hole. So let's go ahead and scale it down. Do something like that. And let's scale on the Y again, just so that it's out. We can even jump into X-ray mode and kind of compare it, but this is not that critical. We're never going to notice, especially if there's like mist coming out, you'll never notice the size of this. So I think this is fine. Scale it even just a little more. I'll grab it just so it knows what it's gonna boolean. I'm gonna jump out of edit mode, cutter still selected, then I'll select the second cylinder, do another difference, and now we have the hole. And now we're good. That's our, there it is, right? And then I'm just gonna shade smooth the, oh, absolutely not. We might just do auto. That's so ugly. Yeah, we'll just do auto. Like that. And then there's our applicator. And I think that's perfect. And then what we'll do with that, if you notice in here, like if we, I guess if we lift this up temporarily, right here, there's going to be a hole. So we have a couple options of what we could do. I could just boolean a hole, or I could join. This is what I'll do. This is exactly what I'll do. I'm going to take just these two objects. I'm going to duplicate them, right? So we'll grab that on the X, and I'm going to join them just so it's one object. Let's go ahead and make the origin to geometry, and then I'm going to rotate on the Y 180 so that it's completely upside down. And then I'm going to grab this on the Z, and we're literally going to put it in the center, and we're just going to boolean this exact thing so that the applicator will fit in perfectly and we don't have to do too much to make it work. So the only thing I want to make sure is that we're in the exact middle. So now I'm going to grab it on the Z and get it back into position, but at least we know we are dead smack dab in the middle. I'm going to save it here before I do anything. I'm also going to Shift D this base just in case, because booleans do not always work out how we want. So I have my cutter selected, then this Shift Control B, difference, and see, it didn't work. And I don't know if that's because I joined this or what the deal. So I'm gonna try a couple things. I'm gonna apply the scale. Again, make sure that's that. Let me make sure there's no, maybe I need to, let me apply this bevel. Make sure there's nothing here for me to apply. Let me apply that. See if that works. Nope. It's the only thing that kind of sucks. Okay. That really makes me sad because this would have been perfect. What's my other option that I could do? What else can we do? Let me just jump into edit mode and see what's the problem. I mean, I could use, let me see if I do, take that out. Let's see if I do the modifier. See if that works. Okay, let's try something else. I'm gonna pull it out a little. See if that changes anything. All right, maybe it was just too close. I feel comfortable with that, I guess. Yeah, that's cool. We'll just leave it like that. And then, what's this here? Okay. Let me jump in. I'm gonna just do edge select. And I'm just literally gonna pull this over just a little. I know that means it's not gonna be completely symmetrical, but we're never gonna be looking at it from that view, so I'm fine with that. We'll just leave it just like that. Okay, cool. And that's that, and then we'll take our, what we can do though, is we'll join this and this together. And then we can join, that's one piece and that's one piece. Let's set the origin to geometry. And then we can grab, let's grab this. Let's bring it over. Let's bring it here. I'm just gonna put it here for now, to just get it in the right position. Let me hide that for now. Let's grab you. Get you exactly over the hole. I think that's good. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna take both of these, rotate on the Y180. Let's bring our diamond back. Grab on the Z. We'll just put it here for now. And this is essentially what your perfume would look like if you purchased the Vera Wang Love perfume, like that. So we'll keep it a little bit separate for now. Well, we can bring it down just a little bit. So we'll do like that, just so we can get all the colors and everything together. But for now, let's go ahead and get rid of maybe that image and that image for now. And let's go ahead and save it. Oof, that looks so cool. I am so very proud of this one. I'm gonna get a screenshot of this. This is really cool looking. This is why I love doing perfume bottles, because I just think like it's just so cool. I'm gonna get a quick screenshot. Let's get this looking good on the side. All right, let me grab a quick screenshot of this. I love. We'll capture that for now. Let me get it without the. Let's let that go away. Okay, guess not. Okay, cool. So now we can do some texturing. And yeah, let's just do that. So let's jump into shading. So pretty. We also, let's get a background for us. So let's go ahead and add a plane. Let's grab that on the Z. Oh, you know what? Another thing, it's flat at the bottom. So we probably should give it a nice boolean so that it's flat and not curved. So let's go ahead and do that before anything. Just so we've dotted all of our I's and crossed all of our T's. So it's about, it's not super flat, but it's flat enough to be on a surface. So we'll do that. If you notice here, it's flat right there. Okay. Beautiful. Now we're talking. All right, let's get this going. Let's go ahead and scale you up a bunch. And then edge selected. Let's E on the Z. Get us a nice backdrop. I think with this one, I would love to do use a plain and have some silk kind of floating in the background. I did that with my Versace perfume, Absolute, and I absolutely loved it. So I think we might have some like really pretty silk kind of like floating in the background. I think that'd be really pretty. And just have like water kind of like sloshing around throughout. That could be really nice. Okay, cool. So we have, is it on the plane or do I need to bring the plane up? Okay, let's bring the plane upward. So let's get the plane right there. And then like one of Mr. Muffins had mentioned, let's add a solidify modifier to this. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply that bevel. I'm gonna look at this here. And I think I always forget to do that for my for a lot of my models to give the glass a lot more dimension. So I'm just adding the solidify modifier to really add that depth and dimension when we do the glass shader. Okay, cool. So now we're here. We have our whole situation, our whole perfume. Obsessed. Obsessed, obsessed. Oops. Shift Command 5. I'm going to take another screenshot really quickly. I'm just very happy with this. Very, very happy. So now we want to jump into Shader Editor. And instead of me doing the glass, I'm going to go ahead and use my asset glass because it has all of the tiny little details that I am missing. And we're gonna jump out of Eevee and we're gonna go to Cycles. And the other oh, you know what? Let's go ahead and open up these desktop. Let's go here just so we can find our color. If we already have what I need, I would love to do that. I can make a metallic, but if there is one that I already have, that would be awesome. We have a gold. I know I do have a metal material that allows you to pick a bunch of different ones, but I can't recall exactly what metal. Let's see what that looks like. That's not the vibes. That's not it. Okay, let's just make it. So we're gonna do new. We're just gonna bump up our metallic all the way. And we're just gonna use this as reference to lighten this up. And we don't want the hues of blue. We don't want that. So let's just do it. We'll do it for metallic. Let's go ahead and add that to that. Let's also add it here. This is where we kind of start having, it's a little bit of a trouble with the rendering of my cycles. It's like so slow, but let's go ahead and get a little bit closer. I'll let that render out. And once there's a fluid simulation, that's what's gonna give us a little bit of color. So let me go ahead and save right now. And you can actually see like the cutout of where this goes, which is really cool. That's what I was hoping for. And I love this so much. Like, I am so happy with this. Let's just let it render out. I'm so sorry this takes so long. But once it renders out clear, it's gonna be so pretty. So how I'm thinking I'm gonna finish this off will be with definitely utilizing the particle system. Not the particles. What am I using? The physics, right? Yeah, we're gonna do physics. I'm gonna do the cloth physics. That's what I'm gonna do. And my vision is to just kind of, I mean, almost like what's happening over here. We can just have some really pretty silk kind of floating in the background. Maybe I can add some wind dynamics as well to just give it like that soft glow. I do think the metallic, we can make it a little bit darker. So we'll do that. And then in order to get like the gradient of the metallic, I'll add really strong lighting kind of facing it, and then the fluid simulation on the inside will make it like a warm cream color. And I think this is like a really exciting job well done. Oh, and you know what? I'm gonna go in to that applicator, the spray applicator right here, and change the color of that to a little bit of a cream color. These are tiny little fixes at this point. And the only other thing I would say is like to do the fluid simulation. So I think I'll attempt to do that while I'm on live. Just bear with me if it's just like so incredibly slow. I'm trying to just let this render out fully so that we can get the full, oh, let's go ahead and do noise. So that we can just get the full picture. Oh, let me GPU it too. That might help a little bit. Very happy with this though, very, very happy. Especially not being sure if this is something that I could have done. And I think I go into every single one of these not knowing if I'm going to be able to do it. deep down I know I'm gonna be able to do it, but there's a slight piece of me that's like, can you do this? So I'm really happy this one came out the way that it did, because I think it's so pretty. So pretty. And then as far as the background, the cloth simulation, like there's no way I'll be able to do that on live and have it not be just the most infuriating thing for you to watch. So I think we'll finish this off. We have 20 minutes, and we can definitely get a quick fluid sim in there. And I'll just have the water essentially like filling up, and we'll go all the way up to the top here. And then I'll just kind of let it just kind of slosh around, and then maybe off camera, I'll do a bit of I also will have to find the font for this, but it typically takes a little bit of digging to find the brand font, so I won't bore you with that either. But off camera, I'll finish the logo. And whenever there is like whatever sort of an animation I do decide to do, I'll be sure to show the logo for sure. But for now, let's go ahead and just do a quick fluid sim so that we can add a little bit of color to this and it's not as bland. So I'm going to go ahead and take a UV sphere. I'm going to tap into edit mode. I'm going to scale it down a bunch. I'm going to grab on the Z. I'm going to pull it up, and I'm going to put it right at the base here. Make sure it's in there. So I want it to be inside. So let me turn this off and make sure. I don't want it to be, I want it to be here. It's hard to tell exactly where it is. So let me go in there. Okay. Yeah, okay, cool. So, right, we don't want it to be cut off at all. So I'm gonna do it like that. So we do that. So this is what our fluid's gonna come out of. I'm gonna tab out. I'm gonna click object. I'm gonna do quick effects and then quick liquid. It's gonna give me this domain box. And I'm only able to kind of breeze through this because I have done this so many times. So I'm just gonna take the box and I'm gonna scale it to the size of my diamond, because that's the parameters of where I want the water to be and to stay. So let's just scale her down, bring it on down to the base of the diamond. So let's come on down. We don't want it to look weird, like it's you know, anywhere other than where it should be. So this is a general size of the box, but we just want to make sure that the liquid stays in that area. So I'm going to click play just to see where it goes and how far it's working. I'm going to go into the settings of my fluid sim. Instead of using geometry, I'm going to use inflow, and we're going to go back and we're going to see what that looks like. And if we notice, it's a little bit high. So I'm going to click the actual, I need to click the domain. So I'm going to bring the domain down and see what that looks like. So let's bring it back. Okay, perfect. And I mean, I kind of want it to fill from the base. So I'm gonna click my diamond here. I'm just gonna see if this works. I'm gonna click my diamond, I'm gonna click fluid, and this is essentially gonna be my effector. Just give it a moment. And it's gonna be my collision effector. And I'm gonna click use planner. I find when I click use planner, it works better for me. But, you know, sometimes you gotta play with it. Okay, so maybe I won't use planner. No, we have to use planner because it's okay, so I'm gonna play with this a little bit and see if this helps. This is the thing with the fluid sims. It's like, you know. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. It's a constant battle. I could also, I was kind of wanting it to fill from the base, but let's see if I bring it up. Do it this way. It could be because I did use planner. Okay. So the collision. Let's just see. So when I don't use planner, it doesn't use this as a collision. You know what I mean? It's the only thing that kind of sucks. This is also, I mean, it's filling, which is great, but I want it to kind of fill from the base. So this is typically what I mean when I say like the fluid simulation doesn't always. Oh, you know what else though? Hold on. I think I know what it is. We didn't fill this. Let me see. Is that? Yeah, I don't think that's filled. Is it filled? I can't tell. I can't tell. Yeah, okay, I have to fill this. I think that's what this is. So let me go and tab into edit mode. Let me do, oh, are you gonna let me do edge select or no? Because that'll be so brutal, oh my God. Oh, we might have really, okay, here's what we'll do. Are we sure this isn't filled? Yeah, I think we're sure. Okay. Individually selecting the edge feels very out of the question. Because, okay, here's what we're gonna do. Let me jump out of here real quick. This is my bad, but I also didn't know that I was gonna do a fluid simulation. I'm gonna jump into isolation mode. Oh, it is full. It is filled. Okay. So we're good. We're good. We're good. Thank God. So I'm not sure. I also don't want it filling from the top, let's be honest. I'm gonna put it, we'll just put it about there instead. because it's, and I mean, it doesn't have to be in the center. It could be over to the left even. I don't know why I keep pressing that. So if I grab it and pull it to the X, and we can pull it like to the right maybe, or to the left, I mean. Right, we'll do it like that. And let's see what it gives. Right. So let me grab the Z. Just point it up a little bit. Oh, wait. Okay, maybe this is why it's not working. Let me scale it up. Okay. Because it was kind of cutting the diamond off a little bit. And let's see what that does. Ooh, I think we might be onto something. Nope. Still no. Okay, let me go back. What do we have this as? Let me use planer and see what we got. Let's take some time, you know? Let's switch it up. Kind of reset it. See if we can get it to work. And then if not, I'm sure if I just, this has happened to me a ton of times. If it's a little weird the way the fluid simulations do. It's actually kind of annoying. But I eventually always do figure it out. Let me just make sure it's not clipping anywhere else. It should work. There's no reason it shouldn't. Let me pull it. Oh, you know what? Let's try something. Let's see. Try that. And let me grab it on the Z. Just gonna put it there. Also, though, what might be, I can't put a hole in the top, so it has to be in, here. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So I'm just trying to think back to like previous files. The domain does not have to be the same size as a diamond as far as structure. It doesn't have to, does it have to be inside though? Because it could be, if it's, okay, let's just try something. Let me just scale it down a bunch, put it in here, and see if that does anything. Oh, that does something. Okay, so the domain has to be inside the container in order for it to work. But that doesn't make sense, because then what's the point of the collision? That doesn't make full sense to me. That doesn't make sense to me. Okay, let's see. All right, why don't I just slowly increase the size? Why don't we just do it like that? Okay. Now let's see. Oh, We got it. Amazing. Okay, so maybe it just has to be like very close to the size of the bottle or the container or whatever. Now I don't want it to fill from the middle. That's kind of weird. So if I can grab it on the Z and just have it fill from the bottom, what does that look like? Well, that's not filling. Okay. So my other alternative, so I'll grab here. Let's grab on the, maybe I'll put it in the top corner here. It's just gonna look so weird. Wait, what if I grab on the Z, grab over here, grab on the Z. What if we start here? Okay, well that's a no. Okay, we could do like that. I think that looks pretty cool. That could work. All right, I don't hate that. I might just need to make it a bigger sphere in order to get this filled up in enough time. It's taking quite a while. So the sphere, flow source, mesh, planar, surface emission. Okay, let me actually go to the domain properties. We're definitely going to need it at 64. So there's that. I mean, I'm really liking the way that it's looking. I just need it to fill up at a much faster rate. Okay, let's see what we can do here. Can we make it 2? And that should double it. just trying to increase the volume of our simulation here. Particles, no, that's not what we want. Okay, so we're gonna keep that at 1. That's our splashes. 16. So what if I do 32? I'm also feeling like I'm going to have to add like a bit of an animation of the ball moving left and right to kind of add to our simulation here. So just feels like there's a lot of tweaking and playing with the numbers that I'm gonna have to do. So here's what we'll do. I'm going to let this run through all the way to 50 just to see how full we get. I'll get a final look of the render once it's all the way filled. And then off camera, I'll go ahead and finish, do the rest, add all the final tweaks. Because now it's just a lot of like pushing and pulling, punching in numbers, trial and error, trying a bunch of different things. And I definitely don't want to bore everyone with that. But all in all, the modeling is done. We're just adding the final touches to make the final animation look really good. So I feel very happy with this. I love this. I think it's so pretty. I'm gonna let this fill up as much as I can. Once it hits about 240, I'll color it so that we at least have a bit of a color within the glass, and just kind of see what that looks like. And then off camera, I'll do all the finishing touches and get a nice finished render with this. And I'll also do some research into how to get this fluid sim to fill up so much faster. I think if I put it at the top, it'll fill up faster. I just don't love the idea of that. So that kind of sucks. It's also seeming like the fluid sim is not going to go above where the ball is. So it's also giving that. So the interesting thing about this is if I were to do a plane instead of a ball, I wonder how much it would change. So actually, before I just finish off with that, I'm gonna grab this on the X. I'm gonna pull it over, and then I'm gonna grab on the Z, and I'm just gonna put it to the top. I don't prefer this method, but I'm gonna just do it for the sake of filling this up as much as I possibly can. So now I'll get it all the way up to about 240, change the color of the liquid on the inside. Yeah, I think, well, let's just see. We'll see. We'll get that final render photo, and then I'm going to call it. Yeah, I think there's a bit of a It's not going to go above wherever the flow object is. So that's kind of good to know. I think the only alternative option that I would have is to make the flow object a plane. And I could try to do that. I don't think I've ever done that, but I can attempt to do that so that it's not just like a weird ball in the center of this diamond. But anyway, that's for later. So let me get it up to about 140. I'm going to pause it. We'll get the liquid colored so that it just gives us a little bit of dimension there. And we will be in good shape. Yeah, this would be so boring in any sort of an animation. So it's like I'm gonna have to figure out the best course of action. Okay, let's pause it there. Let's jump into shading. I'm gonna save it. Well, I still have the chance. I'm gonna go to the liquid domain. We are going to change the color to a yellow. It's definitely kind of like a golden, not quite pink, but definitely like a golden color. Yeah, I think that's a pretty solid color. And then, you know, I'm gonna figure out what we're gonna do with the weirdness of that ball. I mean, in render mode, it won't be a sphere, but it will be I won't render out the actual sphere because you can turn that off, but there will still be something that resembles a sphere that's emitting liquid. So that'll just be really weird in anything that we do. So I'll figure that out separately, but I think that's good. I think we did a great job with today's. I think the diamond's a little cloudy too. I can probably fix that as well. Make it a little bit cleaner, get a little bit more lighting hitting the top diamond. But I think all in all, it looks really pretty. I want to add a little bit more shine to the base of our metallic here. Definitely want it a lot shinier, a bit more glamorous, but all in all, I think this is really pretty. I'm really happy with it. So off camera, I'll go ahead and finish. And tomorrow, definitely be looking out for the Dior final render. I'm so excited about that one. It's so pretty. It's so glamorous. It's so fabulous. It's so gold. So that one, I gotta start the render up when I'm all done with my computer today. We'll finish the last half of that render. And that is all, I think, for today. I had so much fun on today's live. Thank you to everyone who interacted and joined me today. I'll be back next Monday. Hopefully, I mean, I have a perfume in mind that I really want to do. I'm debating whether or not I want to do a part-by-part tutorial for that particular perfume, or if I just want to do it on live. So we will see, but chances are we'll be doing another perfume next week. Stay tuned for this render, my Dior render, and I also have to get out the Ariana Grande Clouds render. I kind of totally forgot about that perfume in the background, so I'm gonna get that one finished as well. So we got 3 perfumes on the way, which is really cool. yeah, and I think that's it. I'm done rambling. I'm gonna go get food. I hope everybody has a beautiful rest of your day, evening, night, wherever you are. I appreciate you so much. Happy New Year, if I haven't said it already. And if you find something that zens you out and brings you peace, don't forget to make time for it. It's so important. I'll catch you guys next week. Bye, everybody.